Hi my pretties, welcome back. And as you can see, this video is titled Tea Time with Pretties. So y'all know what time it is. It's tea time. So if you are interested in hearing about my sugar daddy experience and maybe getting some tips, stay tuned.
No clothes, high fashion, like Goya, G-Wagon, or the...
Okay, so as you can see, this video is titled My Sugar Daddy Experience. So when people think about sugar daddies, they think about super old men spending money, giving you money, you having sex with them. But my experience was completely different. Like my sugar daddy, or by the end of this story, y'all gonna be like, nah, he was a splendid daddy. Anyways, my sugar daddy, he was only he was 41 at the time, and at the time I was 27. I'm 29 now. I work for a football team in the NFL. Not gonna say who I work for. Those that know me personally know who I work for, and I actually met him there because he also worked for them too. So we're sitting at the table. It's like a bunch of us sitting at the table eating lunch, and I had put my phone down. So after I put my phone down, I left it open though, like I didn't lock it. And I was turning, talking to one of my coworkers, whatever. So he ended up putting his number in my phone and I didn't notice. So I leave the table, I say bye to everybody, whatever, lunch over. And he then texts me like, hey, this is so-and-so. I'm like, so-and-so who? And he's like, oh, I was at the table and I just decided to go ahead and put my number in your phone. So I'm like, okay. So he's like, you're very beautiful. He was like, are you single? So I'm like, yeah, but how old are you? So he went on to telling me like different stuff, like how he used to play for the Jets back in the day, whatever. I'm just like, okay, like, because honestly, none of that really mattered to me. Like, okay. So he asked, could he take me to lunch? I agreed. Even though I told him, like, because me personally, like, when it comes to older guys, it's not my cup of tea. Like, So I end up going out to lunch with him. We're sitting, we're talking, we're having great conversation. I'm a conversationalist, so I like to talk, baby. Like, I like to talk. So we just having constant conversation, nothing too crazy, nothing too crazy. So he then tells me about this trip in like about 2 months that him and his friends are taking to Vegas. And he's like, oh, everyone's bringing somebody. So I just like brushed it off because for one, I just met this man. For two, like, I'm not going to go on no trip with you and your friends. Like, I don't want to meet your friend. Like, no. So he like, oh, maybe you could come with me. Everybody's bringing a woman. And I'm just like, oh, no. Like, I don't know you. I just met you, whatever. So he, we consistently talk, text, whatever. We didn't really meet up much because I would see him when I would go to work. But, like, it was just like conversation. Like, and he had good conversation. So we would always talk. So then he kept mentioning the trip, like, okay, trip dates are getting closer. Like, everything's going to be paid for. You don't have to worry. All you got to do is bring your bag. You don't have to worry about food, hotel, flight. Everything's paid for. He was like, I got you. So I'm like, I don't feel comfortable accepting anything from you. Like, we just thought. He was like, no, like, it's fine, da-da-da. So I'm just like, I don't know. I'm going to let you know. So he kept like asking me or whatever about, am I going on the trip? Am I going on the trip? So I'm just like, no, I'm not going to go because, I'm giving him the reasons. So he just like, man, come. So it happened that same weekend that he was going on the trip. My son was actually going out of town with his dad. So I'm like, okay, well, my son's out of town. So I was like, okay, I'll go. So end up going on the trip. We get to Vegas and I made it I made it very clear to him that I was not engaging in any sexual activity because that's not my forte. I'm not that girl. Like, baby, I'm not that girl. So he like, oh, no, I'm not expecting that. I'm like, okay, as long as you know. So he like, nah. So we get to the room. The room that we originally got in, it had 2 beds. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, you can sleep over here. I'm going to sleep over here, whatever. So, of course, you know, I met his friends, whatever. Everybody cool, we vibing, whatever. And I'm like the type of person, like, I have to feel people out first. I'm not just gonna, you know. So I'm feeling everybody out, whatever, chilling. So we go back to the room, and of course, he trying to get in my bed. So I'm like, what you doing? So he like, oh, you know, I just wanna, no, we not doing this. You go over there, and I'm gonna be over here. He like, but I thought, you thought what? Baby, what you thought? No. So he got upset or whatever because he was like, oh, I just wanna, yeah. And I'm like, no, I already told you, like, before we even came on this trip, like, it was not going to be that, like, at all. So next day, like, he just had a whole attitude or whatever, and he just, like, everybody noticed it, like, what's up with you? What's up with you? So we ended up getting into it because he was like, you know, even though you said that you wasn't doing nothing on the trip, I just assumed that's your problem. You assumed. You assumed because you paid for all this stuff like that I was going to go ahead and give. No, I'm not that girl. And I let him know. So I'm like, you know, you're acting very childish. You're not acting your age by the way that you're acting instead of you. So I'm like, you're acting childish. So he like, oh, I'm going to LA in the morning. I'm going to leave you here in Vegas. I'm like, okay, my trip is already booked. You paid for my flight to leave and my flight to come. So I got a round trip ticket, baby. I'm good. So then he came back and apologized. So right there, those characteristics that he was showing, I'm like, okay, yeah, he ain't it. He is not it. So the whole trip was just basically like him and his feelings because I wouldn't do anything with him. So we get back to Fort Lauderdale, and I'm like, I'm done with him. So I stopped talking to him. So it was around like Christmas time was coming up. I ended up just finishing school. I was talking to him around the time I was in school. Just ended up finishing school. After, you know, I finished school, I passed my boards to become a radiation therapist. And I ended up getting a job in Venice, Florida, which is near where I was living in Bradenton, which is kind of near Tampa. So he offered to move all my stuff up there. He paid for my U-Haul. He did my first class of security, like helped me look for a place. Like he paid for everything. And I was like, you don't have to do it. He was like, no, I really want to be with you. I want to marry you. I want to make you an honest woman, da-da-da. And y'all, all of this was progressing fast. Like, we probably was talking for about 3-4 months by then. Like, everything was progressing so fast. And I'm like, you know, because, yeah, it just wasn't an ideal situation. So he paid for all my stuff. You know, bought me a few things, whatever. So Christmas time came up and I told him, he like, what you want for Christmas? I'm like, you don't have to buy me nothing for Christmas. You paid my first class security. That was enough, whatever. He like, no, I want to get you something. What you want? I was like, okay, well, I want a bag. So he was like, okay, what kind of bag? I was like, a Louis bag. So he like, okay, I got you. Like, that's nothing. So this man comes Christmas. I buy him his gifts. I bought him, you know, his gifts or whatever. Gave him his gifts. He happy. So he come with the bag. So I'm like, oh, you got the bag? Thank you. Da-da-da. Y'all, I look at this bag. It's completely fake. Like, I'm not even fake. It had the plastic on the handles. So I'm like, this is a fake bag. So I confront him about it. He kept lying. And finally he told me, oh, because I just spent all that money on you. I was like, bruh, I told you didn't have to buy me nothing. But you insisted. I was like, and I don't like people lying to me. I was like, you showing me way too many traits that I can't. He was like, oh, I promise I'm going to buy you the real thing, give you the receipt. I was like, you know what? You could take all your stuff back. I don't want nothing from you. So this man like blew me up like, oh, I was just trying to make you an honest woman. I was trying to marry you. I was trying to settle down with you. And you just stopped talking to me over a fake bag. I'm like, no, I don't deal with liars, period. Like, then this man started trying to talk to my sister. Like, it was just a lot. And I cut him off. And from that, like, after that experience, I had another small, minor Splendid Daddy experience. He was promising all this stuff, this money and allowance, this, that, and the third. Looked him up, loan rap sheet. Same thing with the first one, loan rap sheet. Like, yeah. So I am completely done with sugar daddies. Like, done. Like, I can't be bothered. But yes, that's my sugar daddy experience. If you desire to have a sugar daddy, because I know some girls, you know, it's for you, definitely go to Boca. They be hanging out in Boca. Like, them men be out. Go to Jazz in the Garden. So it be a lot of old, like, I got approached by so many older men, like, at Jazz in the Garden. So, which is in Miami, Florida, for those of you who are watching who are not from Miami and don't know about Jazz in the Garden. But yes, my overall experience with a sugar daddy or a splendor daddy, I'm good. I stick to my age range and I'm good. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and listening in to my tea time. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Is that okay? Is it okay if I call you my pride, babe? I ain't no player, I just got a lot of bass. But let me tell you, I like you a lot, babe.